All right, we're live, and I'd like to welcome a very talented guest, my ukulele sister, Brittni Paiva. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Ah, of course, of course. We gotta have you. You're actually one of the OGs of the ukulele world that people didn't know.
Makes me feel so old.
No, it's like, yeah, it's not old G.
Old G, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I'm not even joking when I say like I remember when I was taking ukulele class in at my intermediate school, the teacher literally pulled up your CD. And then he said, "This is what can happen if you put your mind and heart to it." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, she's like 17 years old." So that's when I first heard of you, and I was like, "Wow,
Uh-huh.
that's pretty
I
cool." And
remember judging the contest that you entered.
oh, you did mine, bro, and with
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah, on Maui, yeah.
wow, I was so nervous. Like I was actually just talking to him not too long ago, and I was telling him that like that was my first time in front of like a crowd.
Hmm.
Because prior to that you're playing for your family, but I remember I told him that I made so much mistakes, my fingers got stuck, and my loving friends that kept telling me like, oh, that your amp was messed up, but I knew what was going on. That's crazy. I had no idea you were there. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, so Brittany's been around for a while, and it's cool to be able to sit down with you and talk to you and just get the insights of just everything and how everything's began. But I guess it's been a crazy year, but I've seen you've been very, very busy with, especially with merch.
Yeah, yeah. I decided this year that it was gonna be the year. Well, I had merch like forever ago, like 15 years ago, just a couple of t-shirts, but this year I wanted to kind of broaden that, you know, that
Yeah,
aspect of, Brittni Paiva. So, yeah,
right.
so I got t-shirts and hoodies, and we just made coffee mugs too. So,
That's a good thing to have. I mean, look, I'm gonna buy one.
I'll send.
But oh, thanks. And you guys gotta pick this up. Like, such a
Yeah.
killer design, and yeah, I love your merch ideas, and yeah, I'm definitely pick up a shirt too because it's just
Oh,
really
cool.
cool. So yeah, if you guys are out there support Brittany, she got really killer merch and more to come for sure, especially if you like coffee.
For sure. Well, and the tea. I actually subscribe to a Tea of the Month club.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I get a box of different teas from the Whistling Kettle, which is like so good.
Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool.
I'm
And
I'm a tea, I'm a tea person.
oh yeah, because you're either one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. Not so much a coffee person until it's like October, September, October. Then I'm like a pumpkin spice latte person.
Oh, so you're a
But
seasonal coffee drinker.
I'm a seasonal coffee drinker,
Okay.
but flavored coffee, and it has to not be plain black coffee.
Oh, like mine is now.
Yeah, plain black I can't do.
No, it's tough. I think like majority of people like to put cream and sugar or just like yeah, like seasonal pumpkin spice. Oh, that's pretty cool. And are you working on any new music? Like,
Yeah, I've got some stuff. Like the one thing that's really difficult, especially in this day and age, is like I have my own setup here at home where I can record any hour of the day.
right.
And the horrible thing about that is you are never satisfied with your work.
Ooh,
Ever. So
yeah.
I have like maybe enough songs for two albums right now.
Wow.
But but it's like I keep going back to them and listening to them and I'm like, no, this needs to change.
Yeah,
So
no, I think that's kind of a bad thing. It's like because we're kind of at the level where we kind of want everything perfect. So I think we'll never ever be satisfied. I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
my dad was like that too. Like before we released the last one, he kept saying, "Oh, I don't know if I want to put that solo on there." I said, "No, it's fine. Leave it how it is." And we left it on there. And I mean, I thought it was pretty killer. But he has that kind of similar mindset where, like, I think if I didn't push him, it wouldn't even be on there.
But I think like going to the studio to like the actual studio is it kind of forces you to be more disciplined and kind of um more disciplined in choosing what take is good because you're paying for the time.
Right, right.
Where,
It's kind
where now it's like okay, I can sit here in front of my computer, the whole day and it's free, but at the same time it comes at the expense of me not being satisfied with what I just recorded.
yeah, it's kind of like having a gym membership and then having like weights in the back. So you'd probably be
Exactly.
more motivated to go to the gym. Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
want to waste $60 a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Totally get you. Okay. So maybe next year we got a CD coming?
For sure, yeah, for sure next year. I've got a couple songs that I'm just about completed with, so
Hmm.
Yeah, slowly weeding my way through and figuring out what's going to be on the album. But
Awesome. Yeah, when was your last album? 2012?
yeah, 8 years
It's
ago. So
about time.
I know there was a lot that went on in the years after that, you know. So
I'm sure. I'm sure you've evolved as a musician as well. Your style is probably a little bit different too.
yeah, I think I just filmed some high sessions videos last week.
Oh, right,
So
right.
one of the things that John kind of said to me after, he's like, I know you went through a lot of stuff, after your last album, but your music seemed like it matured. Like you lived your life and it's reflecting in the maturity of your music, which is, I think, a place that I needed to be at. And without having gone through all the horrible stuff that I went through, I don't know if I
Yeah.
would have gotten there. Exactly.
Right. I mean, it's probably made you in a into such a stronger person as well. But
Yeah.
like a lot of like I'm pretty sure like with you too, your music is a lot is built on emotion. I mean, even the way you play your music is probably it kind of comes from like within of how you're feeling. So even if you redid a song, like what's one of your famous one, Lights, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you played it now versus like back then, it probably would sound very different. And that's
Yeah.
the
Actually,
interesting
I did
part.
record that At high sessions.
You re-recorded it?
Yeah, re-recorded. Yeah, one of the first
Oh,
times I played it was high sessions back in like 2012, early 13.
wow,
But
yeah.
I wanted to redo it just so that there's that contrast that you can see, in my growth as a musician.
Nice. I'm
But
looking forward
as
to
a
seeing that.
musician, oh, thank you. But like as musicians, it's our kind of our responsibility to have our emotion and our feelings come through what we do. It's
Definitely.
our instruments, they are the extension of our soul.
Right. And
No, it's no, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, actually you go ahead.
So it's like, it's our job, to be able to accurately convey, the right amount of emotion, the proper emotion, and it takes a lot of, I think, just personal growth. Whatever your situation is, and whatever life throws at you, that it's our responsibility to pull what we can from that and turn it into something positive.
Right. And the fact that we don't sing too, yeah. Like how to convey that into emotion so people can feel that is it's actually very hard. I mean,
It
do you have lyrics to your pieces or no?
I don't. There's a few songs that I have written right now that I'm kind of stuck on because I hear like I can't write lyrics for crap. I've tried.
Me
Um,
too.
they don't. They turn out like a first grade poem, honestly.
Yeah, that's like a
But
different kind of skill, I think.
it is. But the few songs that I have right now that I'm kind of stuck on it sounds like they should have lyrics, but I can't really find the balance of an instrumental melody to complement what I'm kind of hearing in my head.
Ah, interesting. Oh, so you hear the melody first and then you put it on the ukulele? Is that how your process is?
Um, It kind of depends. Like if I'm writing a song, I hear the rhythm part first. I kind of build the melody off of that, or I hear everything as a whole, and then put the melody aside, work on the rhythm, and then kind of go back to that. But if I'm arranging a song that's already been written and there's lyrics, then I don't listen to the lyrics at all. Actually, I listen to the melody behind the lyrics.
Right. Yeah. That's I mean again, that's another skill too, arranging and then writing.
Right.
Because it's
Even
like when you're
going so far as making sure that the melody that we're playing is following the cadence of the words.
right, it's got to be accurate.
Yeah, it has to be. If it's gonna be two syllables, are you gonna play it, one note at a time, or are you gonna do a hammer on, or are you gonna do a slide, or it all depends on how that word was said.
That's very true. I've actually never thought of it like that. But it's I think because I think our picking styles are a little bit different in the sense where I think like since it's just me and my dad, right? I usually do a lot of chord melody.
Hmm.
But I noticed you utilize a lot of single note melody, which you can kind of accent those syllables,
Hmm.
which I've actually never thought about. So that's actually very fascinating.
Hmm.
I see.
Little
Okay.
little things like that make a huge difference, I think, in how your song is executed.
Definitely, definitely. And no, that's very interesting. And I'm just curious, like where did all this begin? Like why the ukulele?
Well, actually, I first wasn't an ukulele player. I was a classical pianist, and I picked that up when I was about 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I played that until I was 11, and then my grandfather gave me my first kamaka, and it was his mother's kamaka, and it was like a I want to say like the mid 1950s. That's how old it was.
Mm.
So yeah, so his mother had that uke at that time, and he gave it to me when I was 11, and he said, "Here, try it and see if you like it." And I was like, "Yeah, this is my instrument."
Nice. And we're able to translate some of that knowledge from playing the piano.
Absolutely. When I revert to listening to music or figuring out a piece, I don't think in terms of ukulele. I think in terms of piano. So sometimes like I
Oh,
don't
okay.
even really realize, what I'm doing, and my girlfriend will be like, "Can you stop?" Sometimes I'll be holding her hand, and then like we're listening to a song, and then my fingers are going, based on the melody.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So she'll be like, what are you doing?"
yeah. I do that on the steering wheel when I'm driving.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right, right. Wow, okay. So like I guess not a lot of people can relate to that unless they played like a piano first. I mean, because for
Mhm.
me, like I'm just pure ukulele, right? So I only see it through that light, but there are some people like you and there's probably many artists which they started with a different instrument first, so that's their thought process.
Mhm.
So piano, and but you also play like bass, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. First was piano, then ukulele, then guitar, bass, drums. I did singing for a little while, but that's not my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm a very mic shy person when it comes to singing. I only sang on stage like maybe twice in my career, and I sang like karaoke at the bar like maybe a handful of times. So
That's way easier.
it was because I did it more times than I sang on stage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even for me, I'm like, I get super shy, even like at karaoke. That's how
Yeah.
bad it is. Like, so maybe if I practice one song, it'll happen. But I know what that feeling. For me, it's just my ukulele sings for me.
Hmm.
So, so you started ukulele around 11, and
Hmm.
when did you have any early influences, like when you
Um,
transition and developing that skill?
well, I listened to a lot of like Royce Mack in the beginning. My
Oh,
grandfather had one of his old records, so he put that on. So I listened to that. Kyle Creator Boys for sure. Carly Rose was the first song that I ever played on the uke. So
okay.
yeah, so that, and then after that, I think it was Herb and there's a bunch of local players. Jake, of course.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And then yeah, because I mean like was it 15 years old you did the very first album?
yeah. I was 15
Like
years old. I actually have the Hoku Award right here
that is cool. Yes. Congratulations.
from
Like
from '05.
multi-award winner right here.
Thank you. But
That's
yeah, so I look back at this and I think about the story behind it, and
yeah. Actually, can I see that one more time?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get one, so I'm just gonna take a look at it.
You will, you will.
Ah, that's cool. Wow. 2005. Yeah, that is the same year which we heard about you and in ukulele class. And
It's
to
nice.
come to have a hoku for your first CD is pretty incredible.
Hmm.
That's definitely something to be proud of. And what was the title of that CD? Was that
Brittni times three.
times three, right? And then I remember you had a few. You did like you cranked them out pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, I think the first one I did in oh 04 was it was released. Oh 05 was the next one. Oh 06, oh 08, and then 2010, and then 2012.
Oh wow,
Wait,
so
no, hold on. I'm forgetting my years here. Yeah,
it's
20.
okay.
Yeah, 2008, then 2010, then 2012. Yeah.
Oh, okay, wow, that's quite a bit of albums for just being such a young musician.
Hmm.
And where did I mean, I think you wrote a lot of original music too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I have kind of a mix of covers and originals. Yeah.
And word about so like I know that when we kind of have our ukulele cap on, we can only get so far. So we're beyond ukulele players. Was there anyone that inspired you, like as a just musicians, like
Hmm.
worldwide?
Yeah, completely. I listened to a lot of smooth jazz, not smooth, yeah, smooth jazz before, jazz fusion. Um, I really like guitar rock, so Orianthi was a really
Oh
big,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I did meet her at the NAMM show a couple
Oh,
times.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was super cool. Um, yeah, just pretty much everything and anything. I listened to a lot of Foreplay before, the smooth jazz group.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Larry
yeah, yeah.
Carlton's the guitarist in that one.
Mm,
So, yeah, Larry Carlton, Nathan East on bass, Bob James on piano, and then there was one other person I don't remember. But yeah, I had all of their recordings.
nice. Yeah, I remember I would see those CDs at over my dad's computer, and so
Hmm.
I kind of grew up with that too.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's some really inspiring stuff. It's so different, you know. I mean, compared like to the music, the ukulele music.
Right, right.
And I think you need that kind of introduction to just a different style to build your style, I would say.
Hmm.
So yeah, it definitely helps with the learning process. And I'm just curious, like, when was the moment like you knew, like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do? Like, was there a moment, or did it just kind of
Yeah,
suddenly
there
get?
there was a moment.
Okay,
I
I
remember.
thought so. I That sounds like you.
Yeah, there was a moment. It was 1 year before I won the Hokus. I was watching it on TV, and I'd already been playing the ukulele for like 2 years already at that point. But I was watching the Hokus on TV, and I thought, I want to be there one day. I'm gonna make it happen. So I recorded the album shortly after that, and the following year I was there. So I was like, yeah, okay,
That's
that's
insane.
what I'm
That's
doing for the rest of my life.
wow. That is like true visualization. Like, you know, you set the goal and
Mhm.
you go after it. And that's like, I can relate to it. That's a philosophy I've been using my entire life pretty much ever since I picked up ukulele.
Right,
And
right.
yeah, crazy, you know? It's just like, and a
It's
more
like, yeah.
majority of people will be like, "Oh, no, I mean, you know, that's those thoughts are crazy," but it's really not.
Hmm.
This is where thoughts develop, and when
Hmm.
if you can make it happen, that's like there's no greater feeling than achieving like a lifelong goal, and you achieved it in like a year. That's crazy.
I
That
think the problem that a lot of people run into when they make goals is they don't know how to execute it. They don't know what to do to get there. Like they know what they want to do, but they just don't know how to do it.
yeah.
So for me, I'm a problem solver. I need to know things. So when I have a goal, when there's something that I want to do, I'm gonna research as much as I can in order to achieve it. So like even if it's something simple as wanting to know why a certain fabric was, or what the purpose of a certain fabric was created for.
Mm,
That made sense. But yeah,
yeah.
I'll go and research that, even if it's nothing relevant to anything.
Right. So
You know?
like so for you, you kind of like, let's say you set the goal even though you don't know how to get there.
Yeah, I set the goal and I'll make it work somehow.
Right. No, and I totally relate to that. And I think that's the difference is that it's just like a lot of people like maybe they hesitate just like, "Oh, I need to make sure I know wait, no, I need to make sure everything's okay before I steer the ship," versus, "Oh, there's my destination. Let me just figure out how to get there. If I have to swim, I'll do it." And I think that's just the difference in mindset. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I never knew that, but as soon as you said that first thing about the hook, I was like, "Okay, I have a feeling that's visualization right there."
Mhm. Yeah.
And so once you got the Hoku, like when did you start getting introduced to like just like traveling and like touring?
It was around that time. I would be making like 3, 4 trips to Oahu, every month, doing
Wow, a
the
month.
various gigs. Yeah, that was I think like the peak of my travel time in within those few years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was traveling a lot, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. Being in your middle teen years and
What, like 16?
yeah, doing all that. Yeah.
That is, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, I think you might be the very few that actually have done something like that. And yeah, it's such a young age. And when was the first time you went like off or out of state?
Ooh. Um, I think it was in '06.
Oh, okay, okay.
Either end of '05 or beginning of '06,
And
I
where did
think.
you go?
I think my first trip was to Los Angeles actually.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool, like being young and just finally getting out of Hawaii and experiencing the world, and learning how life is elsewhere. You know?
Right. I mean, it's funny because I think there's like a lot of like even my classmates don't even leave Hawaii.
Hmm.
And then you realize like this is like not even 1% of the entire world.
Right.
And then luckily we've had the opportunity to like, to tour and travel and like, wow, the world is actually so big compared to like the first like,
It's
oh yeah, you know,
yeah, there's so much this world has to offer, not just, with music and goals and everything, but just so many different lifestyles that you can learn from.
right,
Culture.
cultures,
Yeah.
everything. And
hmm
you've been to like you've gone like internationally, right? To like, didn't you go to Australia?
Yeah, Australia, Guam, Japan several times. Yeah.
Nice. Wow, yeah, that's be I mean, as a kid, that's like that's something people dream of, you
hmm
know. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, crazy. And when like from there, like how did you hook up with like Santana? Like that's
That was okay. So, at the time, I had a friend who was in an ukulele club. He was Santana's lawyer.
oh, okay.
So he put us in contact with Santana's manager. So we'd, email back and forth every so often. And when I found out that Carlos was going to be playing here in Honolulu, I was like, I need to go to this. I don't want to. I don't. I just want to go. So
Right, right.
I was planning to come up, and I was going to pick up my ukulele from Kamaka because they had just finished my custom the day before. So I was going to come and pick up my ukulele and then go to the concert and then go back home.
Okay.
So when we wrote to his manager, he said, "Oh, do you want to meet him?" I'm like, "Yeah." so so he said, "Okay, show up at this gate at this time. This person will take you to that person. That person will take you to another person, and then you'll be able to go backstage to his dressing room." So I did, and I just came from Kamaka's factory with my uke, so I had it with me. So I went back there, and then he asked me to play a couple songs, and then we talked stories, and
How did that feel? Were you nervous?
I was very nervous. Like all this music that I listened to, throughout my career and just admiring, his musicianship, he's standing right in front of me and he
Yeah,
wants me to play for him. So
I'll
I'm
be
like,
shaking.
yeah, it was really, I was really a nervous wreck.
Did you
But
play his song in front of him?
I did, yeah. I played Europa and Samba Pati.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what that felt like.
I was like, I hope I play it right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like playing like Jake's stuff in front of him is bad enough, but like Santana, like and like I don't know, just like
right.
on that ridiculous level, must have been like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was very intimidating, but he's such a nice guy, super down to earth, like super chill.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
I played Samba Pati for him, and then he stops me. He's like, "Do you want to play with us on stage tonight?" So I was like, "Yes,
Oh,
sure."
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like the best experience of my career.
Dang. And did you guys get to rehearse that?
No, not at all.
Oh, for real, just like you're gonna sit
Yeah,
up
so
there.
not yeah, he just pulled me up on stage. So, uh, his manager had seats fourth row center stage. So I was sitting there. To this day, I don't remember the first half of the concert because I was that nervous.
I yeah, I
I
can
just
see
remember
why.
sitting there and just like shaking, literally shaking, not able to enjoy the show at all. So, he said,
Oh,
we'll call you, we'll have my security guys come and get you, 30 minutes before the show, or 30 minutes before you go on. It ended up being half a song, so I had to like rush up there, and then yeah, it was a sold out crowd of 20,000 people at the Blaisdell.
oh, yeah, Blaisdell. Oh my gosh, that must have been a rush.
It was an insane rush, but yeah, it was amazing.
How was that? Oh, dang, I'm trying to. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to approach that. I mean, if I was in your shoes, I mean, I
I
would be.
just, I just, I just winged it. I just went with it.
You got to, and I
That's the
mean,
best anybody can do in that situation.
right? You're not prepared. You're not mentally prepared, and it's just like I have to play with Santana.
His
And-
song on his stage.
Yeah, I mean, and he knows if the melly's wrong.
Mm, yeah.
And
So the most wonderful experience.
how would you contrast that with playing with Tommy Emmanuel? And where was that? Was that in Honolulu too?
No, that was at the California World Fest in Grass Valley.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd have to say, gosh, I don't even know how to describe this. I knew to what caliber in terms of how many notes you can fit in one bar that
Yeah.
Tommy plays compared to what Carlos plays.
Uh-huh.
So like Carlos, I'd studied his style a little bit more than I have Tommy's, but so I was a little bit more prepared, experience wise to play
R-
with Carlos.
Right.
Now that I kind of think back and analyze it. Um, but with Tommy, like there's so much that he does in such a short amount of time. So I knew
Right.
that I had to keep up. So yeah.
Tommy Emmanuel is just on another level. Like, I'll be terrified. I'm not. I'm gonna be straight up. I think I'd be terrified. Like, I would try to do it. I mean, we could always call Corey. Hey, Corey, bro, can you come fill in? Because he can do it like nothing, right? Corey
Uh-huh.
Fujimoto. But yeah, I don't know how I would approach that. Like, I think I'd be shaking. I'd be sweating before I even get on stage.
Mhm.
So let me. We gotta applaud you for even doing that. Like, what did you play? Somewhere Over the
Um,
Rainbow.
no.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I gotta look on YouTube because the video's up there.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
but the beginning of the song, we kind of did like a dueling thing back and forth.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so I knew that I would have to kind of keep up with whatever he chose to, play.
Yeah. And
So,
I
oh, we
think,
played Working Man Blues. That's what we played.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So the video's up on YouTube, but
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
So we would be doing this dueling back and forth for the intro, and I had to do my best to play as the same amount of notes that he played. I tried my best.
Yeah, I mean, when you naturally get on a stage with somebody, I think it automatically pushes you to like be on, and that's when you grow. But being pushed against like like a black belt level guy like him was like that must have been so nerve-wracking. But yeah, because his style and Carlos Santana's style is just so different.
It is, yeah.
It's yeah, so I can see. Dang. Yeah, I remember I saw those videos and I always wondered how that like you like were what you were thinking.
hmm I honestly wasn't. I didn't have time to think in those situations.
Right. I mean yeah, like you said, what are you gonna do? Say no?
hmm
Right, just
Yeah.
gotta play and go with it. My
Mhm.
gosh, that's cool. Well, that's something none of us can relate to, so that's crazy.
Those are like, yeah, two super amazing experiences that I wouldn't trade for anything else.
For sure. And I'm just curious, if you could collaborate or get on stage with what one more person, who would that be?
Hmm. It's a difficult question.
Armin?
Yeah,
For
probably.
all.
Oh, wait. Better. Above and Beyond.
That would be interesting. Because they
Yeah,
have a lot of good acoustic stuff.
they do. They actually came down and did a show here on Oahu, I think in 2015. So I
I
went.
think I remember you posted something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I went,
yeah.
and you want to hear a sick story? Like it makes me super sick when I think about it.
Like sick
So
or sick?
no, like not like sad.
Not good. Oh, okay, okay, sure.
So I just got to my hotel, and my friend calls me up. She's like, "Britt, are you here for the Above and Beyond concert?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Did you bring your uke?" And I'm like, "No, why?" She's like, "Their opening act bailed. They need an opening act." I'm like, "No."
Oh, wow. Oh my God,
Yeah,
I would be so mad.
I was so sad. Like I wanted to cry.
I think sad is a better
Yeah,
word.
it makes
Yeah.
me sick thinking about it.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that.
But you know what? It was a spectacular concert.
Right. Well, I guess that means having ukulele on at all times.
Right.
It's funny because my dad used to tell me that too. He goes, no matter where you go, make sure you always have it, just in case. And I guess that's a tough lesson, I guess. But
Yeah.
maybe next time you'll get
Next time
lucky.
for sure. Yeah. I ended up doing like a little cover, 1 minute video thing on my social media, and then the guys from Above and Beyond liked it. So which is fine.
That's cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that concert was, I think, one of my top 10 concerts I've ever been to in my life.
Wow.
And being able to jump on stage with them would be crazy. Yeah.
It would be so surreal, I think.
hmm Their musicianship is impeccable.
Yeah, no, for sure. And if you, for those who don't know Above and Beyond, they're actually they play, like a form of trance music, which me and Brittany, we both have a passion for trance. We always say, "Oh, what you listening to now?" So And yeah, we've been just talking about like, oh, how would that be adapted to ukulele? So I know you've been working on
Right.
some tracks, but yeah,
Mhm.
how is that adapting the ukulele to like a genre that it's never really seen before, such as trance?
I'm always down for the challenge. Putting ukulele with trance, like I'm excited to continue working on it, and it's just about how you're gonna craft it, how you're gonna approach, the song. So the ukulele can be a very vocal instrument, really
Right.
how we talked about earlier. So if there's vocals to your trance song, then it makes it a little bit easier because there's already something there that's modeling for
Right.
you.
A recipe.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially. So I think that and just trying to capture the right emotion behind trance music and applying that to your ukulele. I think that's like the two major hurdles, really.
Yeah, and then you got so much
And
going on too.
hmm
It'd be so much easier to do a track like that you can put on an album because playing it live, I'm like trying to think like loop that or what?
right, right.
So that's I mean, I've seen you do like oh, what was that video? You did a who was it? Was it oh my gosh, was it a Dead Mouth 5 song?
No, it was ATB.
Was it? Wait. No,
Might have
no,
been,
wait. You sure?
was that on my Instagram or?
No, it was like a while back. It was the same people who did like I Remember.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember it's Cascade
Yeah, was it a
and
Cascade song?
it might have been.
Okay. Okay, we're close, you know.
Yeah, something in that genre. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And yeah, I think there's just in throughout that genre, I mean, I think it'd be very interesting because it's kind of been it's not really been explored yet.
Yeah, it's still not in the mainstream, music these days. I mean, it's mainstream if you're in the EDM community, of course.
Right.
But
Imagine playing at EDC.
oh, that'd be so crazy.
That should be like your goal.
Yeah, that's still my goal to play
That's
there.
cool.
And Dream State. I really want to go to Dream State.
Is that in Europe?
No, it's actually in Southern California.
Oh, okay. I never heard
Yeah.
of that.
There is another festival that does like some trance and hardstyle, which is Climax in I
Mm.
think the Netherlands. But
Yeah, yeah. I wanted me and my friend we was like, oh, we should go to Amsterdam and go check out. They had like a festival, you know. You got Ori in there, you got all Armin, all those guys. Yeah, it would be such an experience to go.
yeah, it would be.
Yeah, for you trans lovers there.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we got to collab on a trans too, and I think it'd be epic
yeah, I agree.
for sure, for sure. And yeah, I want to touch on something because I think not a lot of people are aware of this, but I believe you were the very, very first person to loop on ukulele.
hmm
Like, where
Yeah,
did you come up with that? Like, I think I seen your teammate Dream. I used to watch it all the time when I was in high school.
thanks. Yeah, that was the very first song that I ever did looping with the uke. I don't really know why I started looping.
Does it have anything to do with like your love for like the EDM or
Not really. I think the pedal that I had at the time, it just had the loop setting, so I kind of was
ME70?
experimenting. Yeah, and then I ended up just applying it to everything till this day. So,
Ah, I see. So that kind of helped develop your style as it is now.
mhm, yeah,
Okay.
because you can just record something, it'll play for however long you want it to.
Right, right. And what was the toughest loop song that you kind of created or that you've covered? Both.
Um, I think one of the toughest would probably be lights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
was
there's so much going on, and there's a few parts where the kick drum part is syncopated. So yeah, it's that, and just trying to make sure that everything is in sync with what you're playing, because you only have that one chance to record unless you stop the whole thing and try again. You know?
yeah, that's the big risk, I guess, if you're using a looper is not hitting it when it's on there. Because I mean, even I had trouble like trying to get it in time.
hmm
So like, what's your approach to like getting it on time? Like, is there like a method you use? Because like for me, like sometimes if I'm gonna do a solo, I don't loop too much, but like if I'm just looping like I'm gonna solo F minor, right? I kind of like make like a couple strums obvious, so I know when to simultaneously hit down with my foot. I mean, what is your approach to that?
Well, I'm constantly counting to four in my head, and
Oh,
then
okay, okay.
Um, yeah, so I'm listening for that. I'm paying attention to how many beats I hear, of course, and what chords are being played over, which counts. Um, but I think the hardest thing for a lot of people to get down is that hand foot coordination.
Yeah.
That took a few tries for me for me to get down.
Yeah,
And
no.
there's still, a few times, today where I'll not get it down, and so I'll have like a double beat or I'll miss a beat because it wasn't
Right.
perfect. Yeah, so I think just practicing with the metronome, and on that first beat, getting that,
Yeah.
and taking into account the movement from, in your hand and your foot preceding the actual beat.
Oh, I see. So you have like an analytical approach, kinda, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, for me, like, yeah, I just try to make it super obvious. Yeah, but yeah, it's like super basic terms, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's an art.
Situations where like I'm performing and I already made like 90% of a loop, and then that one, last 10% is like I make a mistake on it. So I'm like, okay, how am I gonna fix this? What am I gonna do to cover it up so I don't hear it drives me nuts as I'm playing it?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Do you like would you could just erase the former loop, right, in case it's out of time and then redo it?
Yeah, if usually I start with a solid rhythm, so it depends on the song. I might start with a strumming or I might start with a drum beat on my uke. But if I only have like two tracks to the loop down and I make a mistake, then I'll just start over. But if
Yeah.
I got most of it down and there's a mistake that I hear, then what am I gonna do to cover it up? Sometimes I'll just, if it's like one chord, that one note in the chord is wrong, I'll just let it go, and once I get to that part, just strum a louder chord. So it kind of overpowers the previous one.
Right, right, and hopefully it's not like an early loop throughout that sequence. Like if it's like because mine it only goes back one. So if I mess up twice, oh, I got to do it over again.
Actually, mine doesn't go back at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just use the loop function on the ME70.
Oh, you still rep the
So,
ME70?
mhm. Still going, yeah.
You're not gonna. What about? Is there like an ME90 now?
There's an ME80.
Right, right. And you
Yeah,
don't like
so
that one?
I'm gonna upgrade. There's a certain setup that I kind of want to go for,
Hmm.
as my next setup. So I'm trying to figure out how to put it together because it's gonna need a mechanical pedal. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's so many pedals out there, and
technology has come so far in the music industry.
definitely, you got your cables, you got
Mhm.
you getting the gold cable?
I would like to. I need to go recycle cans.
Yeah, I know. It's like I like how it's like $200, right, for the silver, and it's like, oh, 6 grand for the gold. She's like, it's not even
Yeah,
close.
yeah,
Okay, I'll just stick with the silver.
yeah. Silver's good.
Yeah. Have you tried the gold before?
I have, yeah. Actually, plugged into Jake's setup a couple months ago. We had a pedal party, so
Oh, I seen you guys'
yeah,
pictures.
that was pretty cool. And I was like, "Thanks, Jake."
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I seen him sometimes he goes live and then you see the cable hanging in the back. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
bro, showing off, huh?
Well, his patch cables are also gold
I
as
seen that.
well.
I was like, wow,
Yeah,
just everything is just gold.
yeah. And then he has the power supply, the big, huge red box.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, condition. I think it's a conditioned power supply. I don't remember, but yeah, that and then his big red DI. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy has like every time I see his pedal board, it's always different.
Mm.
And then
Yep.
he'd be like, yeah, I get pedals like, just in the mail. And I'm just like, and all of us have the same pedal board from like 5 years ago.
Huh.
It's hard. I mean, there's so much to get, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's do you get any recent pedals? Like, because I know your staples is definitely the looper.
Yeah, I got an Octaver.
Oh, okay. Wait, does the ME70 not have an octave setting?
It does, but sometimes I'd want to like use because if I do like a pitch thing or a delay when I'm doing a loop, because the delay pedal is on one, the loop is doing on another, so I can't use the octave and the delay on the same pedal without bending down and turning.
Right, right. That's right. I remember that was yeah, that was the second, the middle one, huh?
The third pedal from the left.
Right. I remember like there was one that had a wah setting, but then I
Mhm.
couldn't do like was it? I can't remember if it was distortion or if it was something else, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you had to choose based on the song you're doing and turn the knob.
Yeah, so the Octaver I usually use. when I'm playing backup guitar for other people, I'll
Mm.
do like my rhythm and then I can do like a bass line on top of it.
Oh, you play guitar like
Mhm.
too?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So one of my friends, Mara, she's from Ireland originally, but she lives here now. So we do, well, not recently because of COVID, but
Right.
yeah, we would gig like maybe 2 times a week
Okay.
at various places. Yeah, so I'll play rhythm guitar for her, and she would sing and play her guitar, and I would just like, do whatever with my fancy stuff.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. You could definitely gotta have the tools
Hmm.
and the toys to play with.
Hmm.
Yeah, just okay, yeah. Wow. So four instruments?
Five: piano, ukulele, guitar, drums. Wait, five: bass and drums. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And have you I know that you play Logi, yeah?
Hmm.
Have you ever played high
I've
G?
been, yeah, I actually have one high G student. So
Oh, one student? Yeah.
one high G student, yeah. So the Nui that I have has a high G on it.
Oh, okay, but you don't use it to perform though, huh? Or is that something new that you're starting to do?
Something new that I'm starting to do. Yeah, because everybody gives me a lot of flack for playing only low G. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys. I
Yeah.
can too.
Right. That I mean that was my reasoning for the last album is that I was a high G player,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I mean we both been to California, and when you get there, it's just like everybody has a low G.
Hmm.
I'm just like, and then Craig always like, you high G or low G group. I'm just like, high G. It's yeah, high G. And then I remember the time I joined you guys on the Ukulele Friends. Jake is like, don't do it. Like I played the low G. It's so funny. But
Yeah.
so it's good
There's
to
always,
have a what was that?
there's always this kind of rivalry between high G crowd and the low G crowd.
Yeah,
The
it's
friendly rivalry, of course, but
right,
yeah,
right. But it's so different, the
it
things you
is.
can
The way
do
that you
with.
approach the instrument is completely different.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest differences is that the range of your melody is
Mm.
on the on the high G, it's kind of limited to the A string
Right.
versus like I recently like arranged My Heart Will Go On, and the melody can go from the A, from the E, and even the C string. So in a
Hmm.
way, I feel like it can be a little bit more difficult when you're on different strings because we learned pretty much, like at all the ukulele songs, it's like everything's like mainly kind of in the key of C, but the melody just sticks to the A string
Right. Right.
versus where you go start venturing with the E string. It's like, oh, people sometimes they start to panic a little bit. It's like, oh, what is it doing up there?
Yeah. With the low G, I like to have the option of having like a bass line or some,
Mm.
excuse me, some lower aspect to the rhythm that I'm playing. You know?
Yeah, yeah, no, and
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, I think like now it's like ever since I yeah 2 years ago I started playing Logi. It's just like I gotta carry two ukuleles now,
Mhm.
just because it's like I got certain songs, and my dad keeps saying like how many ukuleles are you gonna take on the road? I'm just like, because I messed around with baritone too, and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to just play the baritone like at home because I there's no way I'm taking three.
Right.
I'm just gonna take two, but I have been having a lot of fun in your guys' world of low G. I've learned a lot, and it's just yeah. So I mean, certain people make the mistake of approaching it exactly like a high G, which you can't,
Hmm.
which is very fascinating. It's just like you cannot like rock out on a low G. You
Yeah.
cannot let
Yeah.
that thing ring.
High G is very strumming friendly because you don't have that low droning tone, you
Right,
know, playing any open, open chord.
right. You can't play a lazy version of G or A. Because
Yeah.
because if you're on high G, you can go G to A, and let that thing ring, right? And it's like okay, it's a A. But if you have the low G, even though it's the same note, it just clashes really bad.
Like even like with E minor, for example.
Oh
Like
yeah, you got to do like the
with
pinky.
yeah, with the low G, I hate that. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
hold that,
right.
or play some other, variation of E.
Yeah. Do you let that G ring when you're doing like just a G chord, or do you play proper G?
Um,
Because it's kind of optional because it's a low G, right?
yeah, yeah. I kind of let that G chord or that G string ring out when I'm
With your
playing.
G.
Yeah, when I'm playing in G, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it
Me
also
too.
depends what's going on around it. Like if it's like a final chord, I'm gonna let that G string ring for the whole time, as long
Mm.
as it'll ring. But yeah, if my melody has you know, um, third fret E string, then I'm gonna not play. I'm gonna not let it ring out as much, and I'm not gonna not play the A string for the G
Yeah.
chord, you know?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, you see, you got to be so conscious with the low G, and yeah, it's so funny how different it is, but how similar it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that could be like a course, low G versus high G.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it just yeah, just and then there's just the range. I mean, I think there's a song I tuned it like completely different. Like
Hmm.
I can't even tell you what the tuning is because I just like, oh, this sounds good, and yeah, I recorded it. It's on the new album, and I just remember, but you need the low G for that too.
Right, right.
And yeah, just it's a lot of fun. You have the range, and yeah, if you're a high G player, try the low G too. It's good to have a taste of both worlds, and
Mhm.
don't have a rivalry.
Yeah, not an unfriendly one.
Craig.
Right.
Oh, it's so much fun, and
Yeah.
yeah, I could, yeah. When you texted me today, that was just crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no one better to deserve something like that. So we're all very proud of you, Craig. And Craig and Sarah, and yeah, I kind of wait to see you guys on Oahu.
For sure. Yeah, that's such a huge honor.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, that's a big responsibility too.
Right, right. It really is.
It's 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 awesome, and yeah, nothing but the best for those two. And yeah, I mean, is there anything else you wanted to like cover? Anything you wanted to talk about? Just chill.
Um, I don't think anything specifically.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah. So if yeah, keep an eye out. Brittany's gonna have some future merch. She got her coffee cups coming in. She got some new music coming next year. So definitely check her out. Check her out on Facebook, Instagram, email list, and be part of the Brittni Paiva Club. Is
That
that what you
sounds.
call it? What do you even call it? Like,
I don't even know. I haven't really given it a name.
okay, well,
Yeah, Brittany Private Club sounds fun.
there we go. Like, you know how Jake had Jake Club?
Right, right.
You got to make your own little thing.
I need to find something clever.
Yeah, yeah. Like I like your logo's pretty clever.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, something like that, just like word wise.
Yeah. Well,
It's hard.
Brittany Paiva Music, the acronym is BPM.
Oh, I like that. That's clever. Yeah, like something like that. BPL. Oh,
I
well,
have to think about it.
what was that?
I have to think about it.
Yeah, naming something is it's not easy. It's probably one of the hardest parts. Like,
Yeah, it is. Like when it comes to like video games and stuff, I don't play so much anymore, but before, like I would spend days trying to name my character.
oh yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. I don't know why it's such a hard decision because you're stuck
Same
with
thing
it,
with,
right?
with song titles.
Yeah, sometimes I don't name it until like it's being mastered kind.
Right.
Because I mean, there's still song titles that I'm like unsatisfied. I'm like, I don't even know why I named it there, but it's on the CD, so have to call it that. I'm just curious, like, what is there a song title that you're unsatisfied with?
Gazing,
Gazing.
gazing.
Is this
Yeah.
an original piece?
Yeah, it's an original piece. Yeah, I'm not satisfied with how that title is.
What would you
um,
rename it if you could have a time machine?
I have no idea because I haven't really thought about it in 15 years.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, but
it
definitely not.
happens.
Or Inspiration is another one that I wrote that I don't like the title for.
I don't know what's worse, not being satisfied with the title or the arrangement. Well, the arrangement, I feel like you could always redo,
Yeah.
like a
Well,
reprise, but then the name sticks.
the name sticks. Yeah, the arrangement can change unless you already recorded it. Then it's there for for good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Or you could do like a revamp, maybe like version 2020 version or something like that. But
Yeah, like a remastered version.
remastered, yeah, whatever. There's so many terms for like that kind of thing, like remake, remaster, reprise. Yeah, there's
Best of Andrew Molina.
yeah, yeah, just like remakes, yeah. There's stuff
Yeah,
like
just
that.
re-record everything.
Yeah, I mean that's fascinating. I like when like especially like like in trance, yeah. Like
Mhm.
re-edit and all that. You got the Armin remix.
Original edit, radio edit,
Right.
uh, house edit. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean sometimes I like the remake more than the original.
right.
Yeah.
I really admire producers, like that, because they take a song that's already written. People can remix anyway. Take a song that's already written and make it completely different.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because once I listen
definitely.
to something like this, I don't know if it happens to you, but this happens to me quite frequently, where I'll listen to something, forget about it for years, and then down the road be like, "Hey, I created this part," and then come to find out, no, it's something that I heard like 20 years ago.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stored. Like I'll hear it. Like one example is "The Beginning to Last Resort" by Papa Roach,
Mm.
and that little run, which goes like this. Like, yeah, that
Oh,
thing.
right.
I heard it when the song first came out, like forever ago. And I just heard it briefly. I've heard the song a few times after that, but not to the point where I'm paying attention to it.
Mm.
And then, like maybe 10 years ago, I heard that in my head. I'm like, wait. So I played it. I was so proud of myself because I thought I wrote this part.
Oh my God. I know how you feel. That's
somebody
happened to
told
me
me,
too.
somebody told me, that's already a song, right? I'm like, what do you mean it's already a song? I said,
I
yeah,
think that,
Last Resort, Papa Roach. I'm like, oh, great.
yeah, because you feel so accomplished. It's like, wow, I created something cool like that. And all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah, it's
oh.
the equivalent of seeing like a 5-year-old drop their ice cream on the ground. It's like
Oh, right, right. I know what you mean. Just
it's
the
that same feeling.
disappointment.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like being so excited. Yeah, it's actually yeah, that's happens to me too. Like I don't know why that happens. Like maybe like subconsciously, like
Hmm.
something happens subconsciously where the point's like, oh, is it mine? Like it's kind of weird when you think about it. It
Yeah,
happened to me when I
I
was
want I
young.
want to know why, but
That
I don't
is
know if I'll ever get my questions answered.
that's a fascinating question. Something must be going on like in our heads when,
Hmm.
just absorbing the song and then not hearing it forever. Because I mean, yeah, that's happened. It hasn't happened super often, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And my dad be like, "Oh yeah, I heard that." I'm like, "Oh no!" Like I gotta, and especially if it's like a super cool idea.
Hmm. Right.
Oh,
So
that's
usually
fast.
when I write something, I have to like let people hear um my idea first to make sure it's not a song that I heard 15 years ago.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's always the trickiest thing.
Yeah, I mean, even like songwriting, like before, like you develop your own style, it's just like you kind of have to mold arrangements over certain things you've heard.
Hmm.
Like I remember, like I wrote my first CD, like it was just based like on like I wrote like three or four songs that was kind of inspired by other songs because I didn't know how to purely write from within at the time. So it was like, oh, it's kind of like it's inspired by like that one Hawaiian song or like one of Jake's songs like that. So it's like it sounds different, but you can see where you got the inspiration from. So I
Right,
think
right.
it kind of goes from kind of like that, where it's, but then yeah, when you get down the track, it's like, oh, I've never heard this before, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's right, it's from the memory bank.
So,
That's
what's pretty fascinating is, we're talking about this problem here, and there are so many jazz songs out there that are just complicated, so complicated, but they all don't sound the same.
that's very true. Jazz never sounds the same.
You know,
Everyone's jazz arrangement sounds different because I
yeah,
mean jazz is like primarily like improvisation, yeah. I mean you get the head, of course, and then
like a
that's when
lot of lot of chromatic scales, a lot of different modes, but yet none of them have any resemblance to another.
that's pretty fascinating too. Yeah, I haven't. Do you play a lot of jazz or no?
I have. I do want to get better in my jazz improv. Yeah.
I mean That's the hardest genre, the
Hmm.
solo. All the changes, like oh I need to hit that note there. It's ridiculous. The learning never stops, especially when you get to jazz. But the other genres, then when you go to the other genres, like oh this is pretty chill.
I feel like with jazz, you don't have enough time to think about what you're gonna play. Like in improvisation, you're already forced to kind of think on the spot. But I feel like
Yeah.
with jazz, you have even less time than you have with other genres.
Right, right. I mean, even
Like
like
I
just
must get ahead of myself.
yeah,
That ahead of myself.
right. I mean, I even have a hard time thinking like when I'm live, because like
Hmm.
when I'm here on my desk and I'm just playing, like okay, I can kind of analyze what I'm doing, but once I get on stage, I'm like, oh no, I gotta go to my patterns because there's just pressure on you, And this is jamming over like three chords kind. Like jazz, like yeah, I would get so like that's why like when I do like jazz, I was jamming with Neil Chin and Calais at Nam, and we did like Spain. I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I'm not gonna even think about the up here because I won't be able to operate. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go what I feel like, and I think that's why I think when you talk to the top jazz musicians, they just say, oh, just play what you feel, kind of a thing. Because I don't think there's even time, unless you're really advanced, time to like plan up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, are you someone who hears it here first when you're improvising?
Um, yes, when I get into that zone, like if there's things going on outside, or if I feel even the slightest bit insecure about what I'm gonna play, then I just kind of revert back to my patterns. But
Mm,
yeah, if I can get like, if I can box myself back in and not pay attention to anything else but what I play, then I feel more confident in how my solos sound.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
But I
Yeah.
think a lot of it just really has to do with breaking down that insecurity, you know? Because
Yeah.
our solos are never going to be as good enough as this person or that person, or it's not going to be, up to par as a professional solo should be. You
Right.
know, the thing that I've been coming to realize is music is art, and there's no wrong way to do art.
Right. And I think just like sometimes we are afraid of the criticism, especially from our peers. And for me, it's a lot from my dad, right? Because he'd be just like even if like I mess up a loop, he just like, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's just stresses me out.
Right.
Yeah, and then we're on the road home like from a gig, and he'd just be like straight up, just be like, oh, no, don't do that. And it's hard, art, we're sensitive, we're artists, so it's like even if, and this thing is like I know if something doesn't go well, but it's like I don't want to hear it twice because it
Yeah.
just, it's tough,
Adding insult to injury, kind of.
yeah, I'm like yeah, like from now on I'm just be like I know. But he likes to rub it in sometimes. All in good fun, though, I guess. But yeah, improvisation is there's really no formula. I mean,
There isn't.
and that's I think it's kind of like I always talk about this, but songwriting and improvisation, we can
Mhm.
learn the tools of how to do it, but you can't teach that.
Yeah, it's something that you just gotta learn on the job.
Yeah, and I wish I could do what you could do when it comes to improvisation and songwriting. For me, I gotta be just noodling. I'm like,
Mm.
oh, okay, I want to store that up here, and I'm gonna do it. Like I don't hear it first, and I really wish I could do it. But actually, it's weird because if I'm listening to like rock
Mhm.
and I'm listening to that, I can hear it, but I never have my ukulele. And when I pick up the ukulele, it just zoop, it's gone,
Mhm.
and it's just weird. And I really wish I was able to hear that when I'm like trying to improvise and work on that craft live, but I never hear something in advance.
Mm.
I'm asking you like is that can I be trained or is that just talent?
I can I think you can. So the one thing that I've been kind of training myself with in the years that I was absent is learning how to play a song without even ever hearing it before, like play the actual melody.
Whoa.
So it took a lot of sitting down and trying to learn how to predict what's gonna come next based on what the other instruments are doing. So yeah, so I basically did that enough where I could train my brain to remember the melody that I just heard. So the next time it comes around, I can play it.
That's like next level stuff right there.
That's expiring my brain cells in the process of memorizing.
Dang.
It
Yeah, and
makes me
who
very mentally exhausted after, but I feel like it's an essential part of my practice.
wow, that's like yeah, that's a test for whoever wants to test themselves. Listen to a song one time or not even one time and just try it.
Yeah, yeah, just like learning it and memorizing it at the same time that you've heard it for the first time.
I'm gonna try that. I've never actually heard of that approach. That's very, very interesting.
Mhm.
Damn. That
It's
will
very unconventional, but it's a really good test, personally as a musician to force us to, you know, force that part of our brain that memorizes things, to
mm,
be active and work faster. Because sometimes, like, there are certain like sequences of notes that I just can't remember. Like, I'll be playing and I've heard the song, many times, but it's just not sticking.
right,
So that's
right.
the part that I wanted to eliminate initially, which drove me to kind of do it this way.
Yeah, and it's kind of like when you're set into like a jam session, especially in a key if you don't know. But shit, I'm not gonna just not play. I really gotta push and like figure out what everybody else is playing. Especially if
Mhm.
they're singing, they're not gonna tell you what they're playing. They're busy singing.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I got a lot of training with that at the Lua, but I still had to ask like, Dad, what are we playing? What key are we in? And then
Yeah.
yeah, they
All
would
else fails, play octaves. You're good.
yeah. That's easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that I think that yeah, like what you said, that truly pushes you and that makes you grow so much, especially when you're like it's stressful. Let's face it, it's super stressful. Like okay, solo in the key of E, right, which is not the friendliest ukulele key to
Or
solo
be
in.
fat.
Ugh, yeah, or B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like yeah. I mean, because like I think G is the most G, C, F, maybe D. That's
Mhm.
like your normal ukulele solo. But once you get to like E or like what you said, B flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Oh, what is the
Once you
relative
start
minor?
getting
I
into
should
the
know
into
that.
like more than two sharps or flats, and yeah, that's done right there.
Right, yeah. And for me, like I don't know like, if you how you approach it, but like sometimes it helps me just to think of the relative minor.
Hmm. Absolutely, yeah. It opens up more doors to what you can do with your solo, as long
Right.
as you know your scales.
Yeah, like we do like at the low we used to do like island style and A. And then like for some reason when I'm in the mindset of A, it sounds very, very ukulele-ish.
Hmm.
Like kind of predictable. And all of a sudden when I switch to the F sharp minor, like I feel like I have new tools to work with and it just sounds very different. So
Yeah.
just switching the hat from the relative minor, it can actually be very beneficial. So like in B flat, I don't have that skill by heart. Is it G minor, right?
Which wait, sorry, what
In
chord?
B flat?
B flat. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, for the record, we know our skill. We just don't know every single scale. Yeah. So like in this case, I think if I just thought G minor, I think I would do a lot better than oh B flat.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's I mean, if everyone wants to try that, try just the relative minor. Your ideas will be very different because I think you just have so much more options with a minor approach, right? Because your minor scales are you have different options with scales versus just a major scale, right?
Yeah.
So it's very
And just going as simple as starting on a different note, starting on two, ending on two, starting on four, ending on four.
right. Yeah, I love the first time I really got or I really started loving the two or the nine sound.
Hmm.
It's just kind of mysterious because I mean you're so used to hitting one and maybe five. Five is okay. I don't really care landing on five, but I do like three too.
Yeah, yeah. I like
Three,
learning on two.
two is yeah, I love two, especially like yeah, you're just doing like a nice blues thing in like A minor and you hit that two. It's like
Hmm.
something like I like that color. So it's so much fun. It's like art. It literally is art.
There's endless possibilities with music.
Yeah, and the growth never stops, no matter what level you're at.
Hmm.
Cool.
Lifelong learning.
Definitely. So yeah, I feel like I got lots of homework to do.
Me too.
For sure. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to linking up soon and jamming. Hopefully we can travel soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Brittany, for donating your time. I'm pretty sure everyone will love this episode.
Thanks for having me tonight.
Definitely, definitely. And yeah, take care and we'll see you soon.
I will. You too.
Thank you.